Welcome back if you're returning. Today I'm going to talk to you about thrifting. Now, as far as I'm concerned, thrifting is a lot like treasure hunting, and let's be honest, there's nothing quite like the thrill of the find. And add to that the fact that it's probably going to be a bargain and it's going to be a win-win. There's a couple of things also that you're guaranteed, if you're willing to put a bit of work into some of these items that you pick up, whether that's painting, reupholstering, whatever, you're going to get bespoke items for your home as well, and that's got to be a good thing. So my home is actually more than 90%, probably 98% thrifted. So I'm going to have a little walk through. I have done a little bit of Easter decorating, so there is a bit that's been done, but I'm pretty well going to show you most of the items that I've got in the house are items that I've either had for many years or have been thrifted. I have only bought a couple of these new. I think I bought the little bear's head new. The rest were thrifted. And when I say thrifted, usually under $5, mostly under $5. Most of the things in the windows, a couple of things. I used to work at HomeSense many years ago. Even then I would buy things at discount prices. All of these little items that we picked up when we redid the kitchen. Of course, this is a rented property, so anything we do on an extremely low budget, because obviously we're not leaving anything when we go, we'll take it all with us. This one cabinet is one of my top 10 finds. This was a freebie. It needed work. We stuck it all together, repainted it, and that's going to go with me. And that is solid wood and came from an old schoolhouse, so it's probably over 100 years old. Little items, little knickknacks, things like that. This little Easter tree was a $3 find this week with all the little ornaments on it, and I've seen this in HomeSense for $29.99. So then there's the bargain. That's another reason that we thrift, to save money. Material is a great thing to thrift. I always thrift my materials, and then I use them as well as sheets. They're great. You make curtains, bedding, you name it. This clock was a great find. This was Goodwill, $14.99, probably 3 years ago. I love it. Works brilliant. Just got to keep it wound up. This little garland was $1 a couple of years ago. Just throw that up every year and you've got instant decor. This cabinet came out of the living room. I was going to sell it on, do it up and sell it on, but I moved it into the kitchen, loved it against this faux brick wall, realised I had all this extra cabinet space, so I moved out the blue cabinet that was here. The catch was a bit funny on the handle. And just love how this looks. So don't be afraid to move furniture around the house. Just because it's not supposed to be in the kitchen doesn't mean say you can't put it there. This shelf was $3. I see them now, they're $10, $15. So I know prices have gone up. I'm hoping they will come back down again once the economy sorts itself out. But my dishes, I picked up all my dishes over time for literally pennies most of the time. And I've got 3 really nice sets that I use. I use all of my transferware all of the time. I don't keep it. It's used. And again, this little clock, I love it. This wreath was a couple of dollars. That's another great thing to buy. Greenery and florals. Now, tell me please, has anyone ever seen a big pink rosary bead set? I have never. I grew up in quite a religious family, and I've never seen anything like this. I saw this and it was $3 and I picked it up. I thought it is perfect, especially for Easter. So that was another little decorative find this last couple of weeks that absolutely made my day. A lot of the items in my curio cabinet have been picked up over the years. Again, all thrifted. The cabinet itself was $15, some 3 or 4, probably 4 or 5 years ago now. Again, beautiful piece. I will be taking that with me on all my travels. It is a great find. All the furniture in my living room has either been homemade or purchased through thrifting. And again, you can make things and adapt them. I found this little basket for $1, filled it up with eggs, put the little concrete bunny in there, and I've got a perfect centerpiece. This little cabinet is a new find. This was $5, and it was an old record player. I love the wood on it. I was going to do it up, but I'm thinking I might leave it for now. This mirror was $6 many years ago. The candle sconces, that's another great thing to pick up. Mirrors are always a great thing to take home because they can be painted, they can be redone. Those are great. Brass is another one. Glass is great. Candlesticks, sconces, I've got loads of them and I love them. Brass picture frames, another great one. I've got quite a few of those. Back to this cabinet, I'm going to put some legs on it and we're turning it into a drinks cabinet. The little dresser beside it is something that I've had for many years. The table obviously was free just before Christmas with the 6 chairs. This was a Facebook Marketplace find probably 4 or 5 years ago, and that was maybe not that long ago. That was a $10 find. Again, everything else thrifted, picked up in thrift stores or antique stores. Another brilliant thing to find is artwork, and I've got a great deal of artwork. I tend to change mine seasonally. I tend to have groupings that I keep together, and I move them from room to room and have done for many years. Now, talking of changing things seasonally, I have bought out my spring and summer curtains. These were another fantastic thrifted find. I found about, I don't even remember, enough to make 2 big sets of curtains and valances for the living room and the dining room. I got them on a bolt at a flea market, and that was a few years ago, and I just, again, one of my top 10 finds. I adore that material. In the dining room, I wanted everyone's opinion. If you remember at Christmas time, before Christmas, I got this new table and chairs. I recovered the seats with this lovely red velvet material. I knew I was doing it as a quick fix, just to get it done for Christmas. Now I need to decide for the rest of the year. I've got 3 lots of fabric. This I love. I have enough for probably 2 seats of this one. Maybe 4. If I can stretch it, I can do 4. This one I've got enough to do all 6. And I've also got a piece of a sheet that is Ralph Lauren. This is an old piece as well, and this I've had for, I want to say 10 years. I love this fabric. It's thick, it's beautiful, and this is what I'm kind of going towards. I thought it would be lovely in the dining room with the yellows. I love the pink and the red to tie in with the rugs. So tell me what you think. My options are all yellow stripes, all green, or 4 of the red stripe with 2 ticking red stripe chairs, or I thought it might be nice to have 2 of each. The top 2 chairs in the red, 2 chairs in the green, and 2 chairs in the yellow. So I'm going to have a little, let me know which one, the yellow, the red, or the green, or all of them. I just can't decide. I love them all, and it's really hard for me to make a decision on this one. At the moment, like I said, I'm gearing towards the yellow stripe because I have more of it, but I really do love all of these materials, and I'm thinking if I mix them up, it just might be something different again and unique for my house. obviously it's not long since we've had our Christmas tour, so you know that I painted the living room and we blocked up the window and blah blah blah. I've put up a little bit of Easter decor, and this is one of the lamps that I found in the week, and they were $6 each. I saw them from a distance, and you know your heart sort of beats. Oh my god, I thought they're gorgeous. I walked up to them and their hands are broken off, their fingers are gone, but I didn't care. They're gorgeous and I thought they will be perfect in my living room, so I brought them home. Now my fireplace, we made this in the last house, so it's probably 6-7 years old. The fire guard I picked up for a couple of dollars a few years ago thrifting. I picked up this panel, which is an embroidered panel, and I knew I wanted to make it as a fire guard. So what I did was I sewed it to this fire guard. Now I've got some velvet ribbon that I think I'm going to put all the way around, but there we go. I think the fabric was $3 and the fire guard, so for $5 I have this beautiful fire guard that I'm so pleased with, and hopefully when it's finished it's going to look great, but I will come back to that in another video once I've finished it. Coming back to these gorgeous lamps, again, this was my find of the week. I got home and looked these up and they are reselling for a couple of $100. Again, I don't resell. I buy them because I like stuff and I like them for my own home. This couch, $15. One of the best purchases I've ever made. Again, these are the curtains, another fantastic purchase. This material runs into the hundreds of dollars if you buy it new. Again, if you're buying it in the bulk, you just have to make do with what's there. So I had to patch up the valances when I was making it, but it all worked. I mean, I am a sewer, so I could do this, but it's not difficult. Another thing that I did this week was I painted in the alcove. I did have a cabinet in here, and obviously when we move things around, I love this painted alcove. I think it looks great. Again, with the yellow curtains, it just looks so lovely. It pops, really refreshes the room. I have put up a couple of prints that I picked up recently, the horses. Again, picture frames, brilliant thing to thrift. You're not seeing them for the prices that they used to be, but the bargains are still out there. And again, you can paint them, you can gild them, you can do all sorts with them. You don't even have to you can put material, you can frame prints. Calendars are a great thing to frame, and I've done that and have done for many years. Pillows are another great find. Decor, obviously, you know, we all pick up a lot of decor for the home that's been thrifted. This little coffee table was a thrifted find. I just recovered it a few years ago. That's due to be redone. The couch was a thrifted find. My side tables were thrifted. My little lamps were actually from two different antique stores. And of course the lampshades, I do have a bit of an obsession with lampshades, but I always pick them up. I've got different types of lamps, and I pick them up, and you know that I make them fit whatever room I need by recovering them. I always pick up rugs, whether it's off Marketplace or Kijiji. You do have to be careful with rugs because when you're buying them thrifted, you just don't know. I've never had any issues, but that's me. I've been lucky. Mirrors, as I said, I've got a big collection of mirrors. In the hallway I painted them all green to reflect the light because I was doing this vintage inspired look, but I love mirrors and you really can't go wrong with mirrors. Again, the picture frames, I must have, I should count them one day and see exactly how many I've got, but I've got all sizes, all shapes, and I use them regularly. I change out the prints. Curtains are an absolute must-have. These are like a corduroy velvet, and I've had these for years. They are heavy, they are long, you can shorten them. Once you can turn them up to shorten them. Once they're cut, you can't reuse them, but I buy velvet curtains every time I find them. I don't care what colour they are, don't care what the quality is, I always buy velvet curtains. I have them in most of the rooms in my house. Again, always pick them up because you will always use them. Well, I do, put it that way. And velvet curtains to buy new will run you into the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Upstairs we go. Nearly completed my William Morris print set. I have loved William Morris since I was a child. We visited the William Morris house on a school trip, and I was absolutely besotted with them. So this is something that I've done up my stairway, and again, I've been collecting bits of William Morris for a long time. I love this, how it looks, and again, all the different colours. It is very eclectic. The big one is a transfer that I made myself, and then the smaller one is some material that I had left over from curtains that I just put in a frame. This is another big collection of mine, which is my needlepoint collection. Again, I love art walls, and I think they look great when these are all similar. They've all got wooden frames, and they are all needlepoint, but again, it's very specific to my taste, but I do love the look of them. I think they look great. Now, you can look back, and I did redo this bathroom. This was a terrible mess. And I just, again, going with the theme of the house, I kept it very dark and moody to go with the style. I change my prints, my pictures around quite often. The ones that are in the living room came from the bathroom, and then I just swap them out. But I do this a lot. I find that it's seasonally I do it, and I try and keep them all within the same theme. This little stand is a recent find. That was $1. And again, you can put prints anywhere. You don't always have to hang them up. This is just leaned on the countertop, and it just draws all the colours together. These are mostly thrifted, but a couple of the prints have been downloaded from either Etsy or places like that. Again, velvet curtains. This was an IKEA mirror that I bought probably 25 years ago. I've painted it, sprayed it, repainted it, decoupaged it, you name it. And again, all the little bits and bobs in the bathroom have been picked up over time. You may remember when I redid this bathroom, I put the screen up, and I had that lovely green material with little peacocks on. I reused that screen in the bedroom makeover a couple of weeks ago. All the material on the shower curtain, that was thrifted. This is the most recent room that I've done. This was the spare bedroom that I gave it a French country twist to. All the materials were thrifted, all the pictures. We made the fireplace, and there is the even the chair I recycled. It was a $5 chair. This is another one of my big finds. I love this chair. Going into the office, this is a place, I love this office. I've kept it quite light. I have all my tapestries in here. Been collecting those for some years. I have a lot of my little collections that I keep on the bookshelf. My camera collection, again, I've had these for a few years. I have a couple of typewriters. I have sold a couple, but I've still got a couple left. Those are a great find. I've got one recently found one in my local thrift store, and they've got it on sale for $225. I think the most I've ever paid for one of those vintage typewriters is probably $50, and it's in perfect working order. It's great. In this room I have a couple of things that actually are my good finds. The chair that I have came from a desk set that I've got, the desk in the shelter that we're going to be selling on. That's a nice desk, but it's too big. But the chair it's not real leather, but it looks like it, and it is solid wood, and I love it. But my best, and I think the best thrifted find that I've ever come across, and with regard to money cost as well, it was amazing, were the curtains that I have in this room. They came from a thrift store. I think they were Goodwill. I probably got them 3 or 4 years ago. I walked into Goodwill and I saw this material on a hanger in the bedding. I walked over and just grabbed it. There was enough material for me to make 2 panels of the curtains, and I had a little bit left over. This is William Morris material, but it is a reworking of a William Morris print through Liberties of London. This material is worth, I think the amount of material that I had was worth between $2,000 and $4,000 when I looked it up. I could not believe my luck, and it is still my favourite thrifted thing that I've ever found. I absolutely love that material. But as I said, it is just another thing in the long list of things that I've had. I know a lot of it is luck. If you know what you're looking for, or if you have a clear idea of what you want. I don't go out to find things, like I said, to resell. I don't go out to find massive bargains. I'm just lucky that I do find them. A lot of my stuff, like I said, some of it's antique, mostly thrifted, but you can furnish an entire house with things that you love. You can adapt them, you can make things fit, and it doesn't have to cost a fortune. In fact, it can cost you next to nothing. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little look at all the items that I've thrifted. I will continue to thrift. I'm trying to be good at the moment. I'm keeping things to a limit because obviously we have to start thinking about downsizing and moving to France at some point. But again, we'll talk about that in the next weeks in upcoming videos. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.